Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Bianchi. We're looking at question number 6. A collection contains 98 fiction and 56 nonfiction books. The books are put into stacks so that each stack contains one type of book. If all the stacks have the same number of books, what is the largest number of books that could be in each stack? In class, we talked about how there are certain words that you want to look for that tell you what to do. So one of the words that we see here are largest number of. Now that's the same thing as greatest number of. So that does imply that we do need to find the GCF. Now some of you might be wondering, well, what about distributive property? And you're seeing the words same number of. So when you see that, we've been talking in class about how that often means that you're going to be taking that GCF and multiplying it with the sum of some stuff. But I want to look at the actual question to help you distinguish when do you need to do this and when do you not need to do this. So if we look at the question itself and go back to largest number of books, and what I like you to kind of think of is what are the units here? Because greatest common factor is usually going to be something per something. Something per something. So books per stack, right? Books per stack. So let's just fill that in. Books per stack. Now, did you notice that this only has one question mark? We have done questions that have two question marks, but we just have one sentence here that ends up in a question mark. And that main question is, what is the largest number of books that could be in each stack? Now, in class, we talked about how if we were going to press on with the idea of using distributor property, we could distribute and we could talk about how many stacks of fiction books we're going to have. And we can talk about how many stacks of nonfiction books we're going to have. But quite frankly, this question is not asking us. There's not a second part that says something like how many stacks of fiction or how many stacks of nonfiction or how many stacks altogether. It doesn't ask that. So to be quite honest, you don't need to do this when it's not asking for it. So really the only thing you need to do is to just quite simply find the GCF of 98 and 56, and probably your best strategy there is to use prime factorization as your approach. Now, when you have a number that's not very mental mathish, then my recommendation is you want to go ahead and start factoring the other one that you can do mentally. For example, this one we might try 7 and an 8. And you might ask yourself, does 7 go into 98 to kind of get yourself started? So if you didn't know that, you would go ahead and do the algorithm for 98 divided by 7, and then just keep branching until you have all composite numbers and you know what to do with the GCF, hopefully. All right, good luck to finish that up.